Okay, so apologies again. I'm in the workout room still, but thankfully the Pixel seems to do a very good job at just picking up my voice and maybe the little ringing around that you can hear, the little buzzing sound, but it doesn't pick up the echo. So to me, that's actually very good and very convenient. Still in this workout room. I haven't really done anything. I worked out earlier, but I decided to come down here because I don't want to bother the people that I live with me just rambling on. But nonetheless, Xiaomi 13 Ultra, after how long? Like 4 or 5 months. Let me detail what I like, what I dislike. Honestly, there's not really much that I dislike about this phone. There are a couple of finicky bits, sure, but to me personally, the overall, I'm not going to talk about like in depth about the camera because I just recorded that video, but in terms of what I like and dislike about the phone, using it as a phone, obviously it's a phone designed for China and designed for other regions that aren't America. It's honestly been faring very well, and I'll talk about it now. So I have the 512 gig, 16 gigabyte of RAM version. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, Quad HD Plus display, IR blaster at the top. I haven't really used it, honestly, but nonetheless, it's nice to have. I really do like it. Obviously, I'm far from the days of being in high school and using my LG G2 to mess with my teacher's projector with my other friend that had an LG G2 as well. So I don't really have that many applications to use an IR blaster, but it's nice to have it anyway. And that's something that I really do like a lot. Couple of things that I don't like is the fact that there is no SD card expansion and no headphone jack. Now, obviously, in this day and age, the only phones that have that tend to be Sony's or gaming phones, right? Well, gaming phones still don't tend to have SD card slots, but they at least have headphone jacks. And while it's not necessarily a cardinal sin for me anymore, like removable batteries used to kind of be that way, but then LG took them away, so I kind of had to deal with it, grin and bear it. But in terms of SD card support, it was very much necessary in the days of say, phones only had 64 gigabytes of internal storage. Whew, boy. Those were the days, right? 512 gigs was basically a must. It was the minimum, the bare minimum that I was going to go with when it came to this phone. I was going to go with the terabyte, but it kept getting sold out. But overall, it would have been nice to have SD card support. Like having a terabyte SD card in my One Mark III while also having 512 gigabytes of internal storage, that chef's kiss right there, chef's kiss. But in terms of, I haven't really had let me go into the settings and show you guys overall. What the fuck is my pattern? I have used 414 gigs out of 512 gigs of internal storage. Now that's including all my games, obviously all the pictures that I've taken. I haven't really taken many, and obviously like downloading memes and shit like that, saving memes and shit like that, because I'm a shit poster at heart. It is nice to have this much storage on a phone, regardless. MIUI 14 still is the global version, so who knows when I'm going to get, what is it called, HyperOS? We'll see. I really hope it's soon, but overall, what needs to be updated here? System service plugin. I'll do that when I'm done here because I don't want it to reset the phone. But yeah, overall, the UI has been smooth. I don't really have that many issues with MIUI or soon to be HyperOS. And from what I've seen from HyperOS, it's not like drastically different. It's just MIUI with like some underpinnings to take MIUI to the next level for like a lot of what Xiaomi wants to do with having like a cohesive brand, right? And also having some Android 14 things baked into their OS, which is fine, right? But overall, MIUI, I haven't had any issues with it. Like, I switched things like the notification shade drop down. I switched the camera shortcut from being volume down to the power button. It's a little convoluted to get there, and I wish it wasn't, but I got there. Things like the secure folder work very nice for, say, you don't want, people to see certain photos and whatnot. And, I don't want my homies to see my girl when they, show my phone, it's not what you want to see. Things like second space is nice too. Say you have 2 different Google accounts like I do, and you want your entire second space to be completely permitted to that other one, you can do that. And what's nice about that, at least until the most recent Android updates, before on, say, my 1 Mark III, when I would use, say, the multiple users, it would still allow people to see my overall system, my system storage, right? My root storage, so they could see absolutely everything on my phone still. Recently, after some recent update, that's no longer been the thing. So nice that, but when I had this phone, that was still a thing, and that was a big contention point. And when I had this and I looked at it, I was like, oh, they can't see my system storage. Let's go. My root storage, and they can't see everything else on my phone. Let's go. I mean, that was the entire point of having multiple users, right? Is that someone else can have their entire own space on a phone and not see your stuff and not mess with your stuff, not interfere with your stuff, and you don't interfere with their stuff. So to me, that's nice. But yeah, very good. Second space is nice. All that stuff is nice. The overall UI and UX, I really like things like floating apps. I use them every single day alongside split screen. So it's kind of going to be hard if I end up going to a phone that doesn't have that sort of functionality. But I'm probably just going to stick and go with like a 14 Ultra. We'll see what happens with that. But we'll ultimately see, man. But yeah, the overall experience is great. Battery life has been really good. Charging has been fantastic. The charging is fantastic. I can't stress this enough. If the Xperia 1 Mark VI doesn't have faster charging than 30, I'm trying not to swear, 30 watts in 2024, I'm not getting your phone. I'm not. I can live with not having SD card expansion. I could live with not having a headphone jack. I still have LG phones. I still have my 1 Mark III, and I can use those for that when I need them, right? Give me faster charge. It doesn't even have to be 90 watts. Like on this phone, it could be 65. It can be 65, Sony. And I would be fine with that. But give me faster charging, bro. I don't care about faster wireless charging. I don't care about faster wireless charging. Give me faster wired charging, because that's what I use. That's what I use, man. Just give me that, and I'll be happy. And we'll see. I'm really eyeing the 14 Ultra more than the 1 Mark VI. I'm gonna be honest. This phone is like, I don't know what effect it had on me, but it's like everything clicks. Well, most things click. Obviously, I gave you guys a couple of things that just don't click with me, like not having SD card or headphone jack. But to me, those have become minor grievances now if the overall phone gives me what I want. And the overall phone gives me what I want when it comes to everything here, especially the camera system. Like a camera system on a phone. And it's not a gimmick. They co-engineered, like they took a Sony IMX989, they took three IMX858s, and they put them in a phone. They co-engineered when it came to the software, when it came to the lens design, the 7-element lens on here, all that stuff. And it makes for a very nice experience. And I've detailed that. I have a video coming about my overall, recommendations of how to use it and whatnot. But overall, this phone gives me a lot of the things that LG used to when it comes to things like camera performance and whatnot. And obviously it's faster, more efficient, stuff like that, because compared to a Snapdragon 865 on the V60, comparing that to an 8 Gen 2 is like, come on, bro. But yeah, things like night modes, the night mode on here is a breeze. In basically every circumstance, it's 2 seconds to, expose the photo. 3 seconds if it's legitimately dark. And compared to, say, the Pixel 7a, it's basically 3 seconds every single time on the Pixel 7a. Even in scenes where it's not even that dark and it's fairly illuminated, they still decide to make you go into the night mode. And I like the 7a a lot. I'm recording on it right now. But yeah, in terms of that, it's very nice. In terms of, like, say, 5G connectivity and stuff, I do not get 5G on Mint. I don't know why I don't get 5G on Mint, because what's weird? I'm also using Google Fi, and on Google Fi I get 5G. So what is, I don't know. I can get 5G, so that's something, but I don't get it on my main line. I get it on my Google Fi line. So it's kind of weird, but it's not that big of a deal, honestly. It's not something that I'm going to sit here and be like, oh, this phone shucks, I can't get 5G. LTE Plus is still plenty fast, so I'm not going to sit here and be mad about it. But and I could at least get 5G on Google Fi, so it's whatever. Call quality has been nice. Bluetooth connectivity has been good. I haven't really had any sort of qualms with that. And in terms of the camera, I'm sorry, I'm not really going to talk about the selfie camera because I don't use it. But the couple of times that I have used it, it is garbage. If you want to take selfies, you have this thing right here. You have this big disc, this big circle that you clearly can see me in it, right? You can see me in it. Use that to compose your shot. Every single selfie that I've taken has been doing that, and it's worked wonders. There's really no issue with doing that. You have this big sensor on the back of your phone, right? Use that. Don't use this dinky little selfie camera. It makes no sense to me. It really makes no sense. Come on, bro. Come on. And you have far more versatility. You have 450 megapixel cameras, high res, that you can get high res shots out of. Put in a damn portrait mode after the fact. Put in portrait effects after the fact. And they cut out well because every single lens on this phone has good amount of separation. It has a good amount of background separation, especially the IMX989, especially this 1-inch type sensor. So use that. Don't sell yourself short just because, but the selfie camera doesn't do 4K. I don't fucking use the selfie camera, so I don't care. These 4 sensors do. Use those. Get a gimbal, get a stabilizer, and compose your shot with this big ass disc that you can see yourself in. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to sit here and piss and moan about a selfie camera anymore. It looks good enough for video calls. None of these video calling apps lets you video call in 4K. So why do you need a 4K? Why do you need 4K? It's nice. I'm not going to say it's not nice, but why do you need it? Because another phone has it? Because the S24 Ultra has it? The S24 Ultra doesn't have a 1-inch type sensor. The S24 Ultra just got a larger 5x telephoto. After 2 years, after 4 years of having a tiny dinky ass 10x, no, I think the S20 Ultra didn't have that 10x. I don't remember. It's been a long time. No, I think it did. Multiple years of having a small dinky ass periscope zooming telephoto. Now they want to give you a higher res one. But by all means, keep sitting here and telling me that you need 4K 60 on your front, on your selfie camera, dog. That doesn't make sense to me. When you can compose your shot well, stabilization on this phone is very good. Do that. Do that. And you'll be fine. But rant over. Because I'm going to keep going. What else is there? The pricing, where you can get it on Amazon. That's where I got it. Get the global version on Amazon. It comes with the charger. It comes with the little, clip-on case and everything. It comes with everything. They don't skimp out on giving you everything. And that's also something I like. This phone has a lot of things that I love. Very few things that I don't like. And Xiaomi colored me impressed because I'm really waiting on the 26th to see what that 14 Ultra does. That's all I'm going to say. But this is Sparta. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, whatever time of day it is in your area. Like the video if you like it. Share with people that are interested in this sort of content, and have a good one. Have a good one indeed.